And hello, SFL. It's Guy
And Will.
and Will. We're coming to you with week 6. We're going into week 6 now.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, that's. You know, let's just get right into this. Will you
I can tell that Guy is getting less excited every week for a podcast when he's 0 and 5 and he's like, I have to do this again and I got to deal with the guy that's number 1 in points. I think I understand. I understand it.
yeah yeah life's not good over here on the Gee household. Um, we got a trade here with between you and Victor. Um, where he sent you Aaron Jones and you sent him Hopkins and Schultz,
Hmm.
right? There's two ways of looking at this. Either Aaron Jones is Aaron Jones and he's actually really good, and then you fleece the shit out of him, or Aaron Jones is garbage because he's injured and he's now playing on a shit team who can't get their shit together, and you basically just traded for a 10 point per week player, if that.
Well, I understand what your philosophy is. It sounds like you think this is a terrible move.
Mm.
Um,
I don't think it's a
but
terrible move. I think it's you're gambling on the fact that he's going to be healthy. You're
Mhm.
optimistic about that fact that you
Well,
you you think he will be healthy, and you just got yourself a 20 plus point running back.
it's possible. So like my biggest thing was that I've been seeing week after week that James Cook, is now not getting out touched, but his touches are less now. Latavius Murray's in the backfield, Damian Harris is now in the backfield, and they're doing that to just help him out so he can get him through the season, right? Because they think, okay, we're gonna be in the playoffs. Let's keep our guys healthy and fresh. Well, he's not getting me points, and unless they're blowing teams out, he's not getting the points.
Hmm.
So Aaron Jones, like you said, is probably a 10-point floor if he's healthy. And I don't think that's the same for James Cook. So that's why I made the move. Also, DeAndre Hopkins is a week 7 wide receiver. I have 3 of those on my team. So it was kind of like, which one do I want to get rid of? He was the easiest option. So it was kind of like to get ready for week 7 as well as that. Listen, I agree with you. If Hopkins has that same connection with Tannehill, which of course, we'll maybe go over it, but Tannehill now moving to the same team to help with the stack, if they're connecting, great. But he has caught 0 touchdowns all year, and he's really just based on giving him the ball.
Uh,
And that's another
and
offense that could
again,
be shit.
let's look over DeAndre Hopkins' stats here. Week 1, 13 targets, sprains his ankle. How long does it normally take to get over a sprained ankle? About a month,
2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, yeah,
right? So you
yeah.
look
Two
at
three
week
weeks fine.
2, week 3, week 4, low target games, didn't really do much because the guy's playing on a sprained ankle. Week 5, 11 targets. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that straight up the guy was hurt. He had some shit weeks because he was hurt. And I think this 10 target around here is probably where you're going to expect to get him. I think you personally undervalue DeAndre Hopkins like most people in the league are devaluing under DeAndre Hopkins.
Well,
That's my point of view on it.
I understand. The only reason I thought is because I thought he had the best game he's gonna have. I thought this is the time to get rid of him, as well as he
Again,
also
because you're
had 2 receivers
devaluing
hurt.
DeAndre Hopkins because
Well, true.
you think he's not going to put up that kind of performance every week, where I think that's probably where he is, that 10 target wide receiver.
We will see. I don't know. It's one of those things like you're true that I'm giving up a 10 to 20 point guy. Maybe probably a 15 to 20 point guy for a possible 10. Agreed. And Dalton Schultz, for me, I know he had a great game last week, but he's been so inconsistent in that offense. I was really had
I mean,
hope for him.
tight ends are tight ends.
I know.
I fucking just hate my life right now with tight ends. I still can't pick the right tight end. I honestly, did you see fucking Kyle Pitts last week? 26
Yeah,
points. I just
awesome.
can't. I can't, dude. I don't know what's going on. I can't pick one. Um, Yeah, I think we've gone over this trade enough. We got one under review, I believe, which is Ryan Tannehill for Kenny Pickett. You had a great theory that basically Victor just wants the stack, so he's getting Tannehill to try to get the Hopkins stack.
Yeah.
I really don't know what else to say about this trade.
Yeah. I mean, it is really just like backup for backup, even though he's going to start. But I think the biggest thing, though, also is Victor is week 6 bye, and both of his quarterbacks are a week 6 bye. So he wouldn't have a quarterback this week. So I think that was another reason why he did it.
Um, yeah,
Because
yeah, that
we were
makes a lot
actually
of
talking
sense.
back and forth,
Hmm.
because I had all week 5s and he had all week 6s, about trading one of ours so we both had the quarterback that we needed, but it
Yeah.
just never came through.
Let's see here. For the activities, I think the very big activity that we had here on the trade waiver wire was Mari DeMarco for $66 by Campbell Soup. Uh,
Interesting.
D Haas went 36. I mean, if James Conner is hurt and Amari looked good while James Conner was hurt. So, I mean, I don't blame this at all. I think this is probably right where you should spend up for this kind of guy. Because he could end up being a really good running back for the rest of the season. Just like one of those late guys just comes in, just does
And
work.
he's also got Connor. So
Yeah,
he's kind of just hedging his hand at cuff right now.
yeah.
So works out. Makes sense.
Um, Gardner Minshew went for only $18. I think that was cheap as hell. I can't believe only two people bid. I'm kicking myself for not bidding. Oh,
I didn't need a quarterback, so that's why I didn't want to do it. But I agree with you. Like Richardson, obviously D Haas. D Haas was Richardson, right? I'm pretty sure
I think it was Dylan.
Dylan has Richardson. Well,
Uh,
either way, it's one of those things where
no, she had CJ Stroud.
it makes sense because he's been hurt all year long, and every single time he gets hurt, it wasn't D Haas either.
Yeah.
Um, but it was a good move and made a lot of sense for his team. So good for him in doing that. And making that move because it was important for him to have that third quarterback, especially for all that
Oh, it's
stuff.
Kyle.
Is it Kyle?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But good move. That's a good one. And since you have it up there right now, we're looking at the standings, right?
Hmm.
If you look at the standings, obviously Kyle undefeated. And then the Walters group with 2, 3, and 2 teams, and sucks being third in the in the group when you have the highest amount of points. But I lost to Campbell Soup, so I understand it. But um, interesting that Gary got that win. So now we have only one 0-5 team. I don't know who that is. Who's the 0-5 team this year?
It's the guillotine.
Well, your dudes division is the good thing for you is your dudes division is beating the crap out of each other in a way. So
We all suck. I just
yeah.
just be nice. It's the Special Olympics down here. It's not
You have a
looking
chance
good.
though. You win 3 games, you're in second place in the division.
That's true. My God, can you imagine if I get in by actually winning the division?
I mean, it's possible. I did that one year when my division was so bad. So maybe you could do it too.
All right, let's go ahead and do our games last week. You go
Okay.
ahead and start it off.
Well, I'm gonna start off with D Haas's game. Him and Kim Chalupa Batman, or Chalupa Vagina 2, which is one of the best names. I can say, Gee, that was a good one. Um, again, quarterback play. Kim is getting all of her stats off quarterback, and then losing, of course, her man and Monse Brown kind of tore her lineup up, and just got no production after the quarterbacks. And if you look at D-Haas's team was solid. They did what they were supposed to do. I mean, Devontae Smith only having one catch for 6 yards on 5 attempts.
Wow.
That's not going to happen usually. AJ Brown's getting all the play right now, which is I'm not upset about. But at the same time, he's going to have to do something. in that offense. You know it. And Goder or Goder, whatever his name is, the tight end, had a huge game too for him. But solid week from D Haas, and it was 7 touchdowns to 6. So it wasn't like Kim got killed. It just was she got no production from any
No
of her
production. You got
skill players.
touchdowns, but like no yards. Look at that. 50
Yeah.
yards, 6 yards, 39, 13, 7. Like, whew, rough.
And she had just a lot of injuries, and of course the bye that did not help. So she needs to get healthy fast.
I'm going to go ahead and do my previous game of the week for last week. You didn't feel too good about yourself, but came through 240 points with only one quarterback this week against the Magic School Bus. Like, tire blew out? What happened? 140? Mike. So he's had 4 touchdowns versus your 3, 4, 7, 8 touchdowns. Man, you got 240 points and off of just 8 touchdowns. That is wild.
I'm not getting any touchdowns. Like AJ Brown and D Hopkins are getting very little touchdowns. I mean, Chase had a big game, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Chase carried the team.
Yeah.
66
But
points. That's huge.
but my 4 wide receivers got me 150 points. That's what carried me, obviously.
Yeah.
And Samuel had a good game too, so I couldn't beat that without a quarterback.
Yeah, huge game. Congrats on the W. Both teams are now 3-2. What game are you looking at next?
Let's just go to your game. We have 202
We
to
don't need to.
137. Well, I'll just go real quick. All right, it wasn't as bad as you think. Holden had 8 touchdowns to your 5, so it wasn't like you got destroyed. And it's not like Holden had a lot of touchdowns, but you had 0 yards. I mean, no production, and we won't talk about Kyle Pitts again.
I played one quarterback and 2 tight ends. I was never gonna fucking win this week.
Yeah. Well, and I mean Westbrook, the ball went to Hopkins instead of Westbrook all game, and that was a good play. I felt like because Burks being out, that was a good choice, but
Yep.
it went to the tight end and Hopkins, so that kind of sucked. Tyreek Hill's your guy, and that's the guy that you're gonna ride with, and hopefully you can get some, break Purdy and maybe Herbert knocking you down, and Barkley comes back next week, so maybe you'll have a chance.
Yeah. The Herbert bye week and Barkley being injured is killing me. Barkley, that Barkley trade honestly killed my team.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Sorry.
hopefully he
Sorry,
comes
not
back
sorry.
and turns something around. But my God, to trade, get only just 1 week out of him, and then, yeesh. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna do the House of Priapism and spreading the disease game. House of Priapism barely squeaks out the win, 150.92 on a 66% coach rating. Have you ever seen a coach rating this low with a W next to it?
No.
That is wild. Yeah, Victor had 3, 5, what is that, 6 touchdowns, and he only scored 137 points. Am I reading that correctly?
I'm looking at it again.
6 touchdowns and only 137 points.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, Atwell had 9 yards and a touchdown. So, if he didn't get that touchdown, and then Jordan Love was looking good early on. I thought he was going to win, and then he threw 2 picks in a row or something like that.
I don't know. The guy's not good. The guy's not good. He head faked me real good week 1. That's another one of those players that just head faked me real good week 1. Like, he's completing like 50% of his passes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's just like every once in a while, like, scores touchdowns on those or something. And, yeah. I don't know. This guy, he looks like shit.
Yeah.
And
they ran the ball a lot. They did run the ball a lot that game, too.
Yeah, they did. I mean, you kind of have to when your quarterback is throwing 50% completion rate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Victor's team just is looking like I thought it would look at the beginning of the season. Just looks really bad. Like, it's not even like he can blame it on bye weeks or anything this week. No, this scored 137 points, and like this is who his team is.
Well, that's why he wanted to make a trade, and so I might have helped him out, getting him a little bit better.
Yeah.
We'll see. Well,
Uh,
I'm gonna go over to Kyle's game. Low scoring affair over here, where Kyle got lucky winning this week. Jordan having a monster game from Jalen Hurts and Montgomery again and Cup, and then getting a goose egg from Henry, 1.7 and a 2.4. I mean, those three scores, a 7.9 from Robinson. I mean, he obviously Zach Moss on the bench, 40.5 would have
yeah.
won the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, looking at his team, I probably would have started Moss over Stevenson just because that New Orleans defense is pretty good. But how is he to know that that's going to happen? But overall, he just had some bad starts, and Kyle's team just didn't play well. And he actually only started one quarterback, didn't he? He
Hmm.
did it on purpose. He's just doing it on purpose. Oh, he started Richardson. I just saw it. Richardson got hurt. That's my bad. But either way, his team is solid if they have Adams playing well and another quarterback. So he's still a good team, but he got really lucky this week for sure. He had what was that, two touchdowns with the win against three touchdowns.
Yeah.
So
Just a very low scoring game. I'm gonna go ahead and go and check out our last game here, Martial Law versus Campbell's Soup. We got 260 points for Martial Law versus 167 points for Campbell's Soup. 76% coaching percentage on Campbell's Soup. He could have played some more guys, but his optimum was 218, so he was going to win this no matter what. Justin Fields, Joe Burrow. We were talking about the Dollar General stack here. Let's count these touchdowns: 7, 8, 11, and 12 touchdowns for Rob.
and four for Audi for Ari.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is just one of those games where you just run into a monster and there's nothing you can do. Like, it is just a free. Can we really trust Justin Fields to do that again?
No, I
Is
mean he's
this the
done it
real
2 weeks
deal?
in a row. He has
Yeah,
done it 2 weeks in a row, but
it's
still.
like I'm guess I'm sorry, Rob. I was wrong. This is my official apology. I was wrong about Justin Fields. You were right. I'm the idiot. Poo poo on my face. But how's Drake London looking? Hey, he had a decent game for once. Yeah,
Yeah.
9 targets. Okay, okay. Poo poo on my face. I'm a dumbass. Um, well, anything else you want to go over here, Will?
Well, I can tell you that an hour and a half before the game, Audie texted me and he said, "Who should I start?" He asked me, "Who should I start this week?" And we were going through his options, and it was Reynolds. He was going to start either Reynolds or Bourne or John Smith. And I said start Reynolds, which turned out to be the best option. But he didn't tell me he was going to start Matt Jones after the last game that he had, a
Yeah,
terrible game, and
yeah.
not start Ritter against Houston, which is a winnable game for Atlanta. I mean, if he switches that up, he still loses.
Hmm.
But
But his team
I
looks
mean,
better.
now Matt Jones is a non-play. You cannot play Matt Jones this week or any week.
He was trying to after last week. He was trying to deal me Mac Jones too. He was going so hard after Purdy. Like he was like, what? I'll give you anything. Just give me Purdy, and I'll give you Mac Jones. And I'm like, I can't give you
He's got to
Purdy.
get rid of Matt Jones now, but Matt Jones is death. He should just drop him. I don't think he's not even worth a pickup. And then Heineke is going to be his starter probably. I don't think he'll still trust Ritter. Ritter's still not great. He just had a decent game.
Hmm. Let's do game of the week next week. So we're coming in here, week 6. Very interesting games. We could potentially do me and you. That's can I do
It
the
could be a
bounce
fun one.
back? But
Yeah.
I don't think so. You can't put an actual good team against a bad team on week. So you go ahead and give me your game of the week. There's one that's obvious.
Well, yeah, obviously you got the Kyle and the Skull Bus. That's going to be an interesting game. I'm excited about that game the most because I'm hoping Kyle can take a loss. I'm hoping that Dylan licks his wounds after last week and knocks him out. That's my goal. But I'm really, to tell you the truth, really concerned with the Campbell's Soup and Chalupa game because I want to see if that was just a bad week from Adi, or is this going to be Adi's team because that's going to help me move up the rankings and get to second place.
Yeah, I think Ariel wins that game. My game of the week is actually Loud Noises versus Erectile Dysfunction. Both teams are very high projected this week. They got good matchups. Uh, Jordan has not had a good year so far. He's 2-3. This is his chance to get even at 3-3. But Dihaz has been making some trades. He's been cooking, and it's time for him to show that he deserves to be at the top of the league. I think if he wins this, and Magic School Bus wins his game, then Dihaz is officially back at the top of the league for the season.
Yeah, and which we don't want because I'm tired of Dehas just dominating the last couple of years. So I'm tired of it. I'd like somebody new, and so it's my turn now.
I believe your team's really good. I think that's all
You know
we
what?
got.
That's the kiss of death, Gee. Whenever you say my team is good, I'd always lose it. You said my team was the best at the draft last year, lost. Okay, you're the kiss of death right now.
I'm just cursed. Period. But I gave you the game of the week last week, and you pulled through. So
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's true. You're right. You're true. 100%.
All right, SFL. This was fun. We'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.